So, hi. I hope you have an amazing day. Today, we're doing actually a first episode of the podcast. So, hey, be my first guest. I'm so excited. Do you want to just introduce yourself and we can say the story how each other?
Of course, of course. First off, thank you for letting me be the first guest. I'm excited. Hopefully, we give them a good first episode with a bunch of tips and value. Okay. And then, so my name is Salvo Borno. I'm the CEO of Lash Launch. So pretty much, we are a marketing agency specifically for lash artists, and we help you guys get fully booked. And why is there a guy in the lash industry? How did I end up here? So
Yeah.
pretty much, I used to live in Virginia. So me and my girlfriend moved from Virginia to California, and this is around 6 months after COVID. So we just moved to California. We didn't know anyone, not one person where we were at. So she needed clients. She said, okay, can you try to run an ad for me, try to learn it and give me some clientele? So 3 weeks, I'm learning. The first week I do the ad, she books 25 people. And then I'm like, okay, maybe it was luck, maybe it was a fluke. Let's see what happens. So I do it for three other girls in different states, Boston, Texas, Florida. They all got amazing results. And I was like, okay, I'm on to something. And then I saw such a gap in the industry for like, that's the number one thing lash artists need is clients. That's the number one question. How do I get clients? Right?
Yes. I get that question like in DMs every single day about like, how do I get clients? So that's going to be something what I guess we're talking today, but I want to get into it a little bit more into details, right? You say you moved to a new state, you didn't know anybody, and your girlfriend was already a lash artist. That actually a lot of people up there after COVID moved, or dropping the prices after COVID because they cannot get like more clientele. May I ask, what was the price point of the treatment?
Yeah, so it's crazy though. East Coast is so much more expensive than the West Coast. So on the East Coast, she was charging 350 a set, but on the West Coast, sets are average about 150, 170. So we started off low price point, 100, 115, 130, 145. And then once I got her fully booked and we hit 20, 30 people a week, five to 6,000 a month, then we raised our prices. So that's what I tell everyone is like, it's okay to lose a little bit of money on the front end. And that means it's going to build you a core foundation of clientele. And then you can kind of build from there. And once you have leverage, then you can raise your prices. So that's what we did. We started off at 100. Now she charges for her lowest set about 185.
185. And then that's like the lowest classic set or something like that.
Exactly. Right? If she even does classics anymore, but probably like 210 for out. Yeah.
Okay. Then another question will be as like, I know we talked briefly that you know a lot about lashing.
A lot. I do know a lot.
Doing the ads and stuff. And then usually, I do talk to a lot of marketing agency. The first thing what they're going to tell around discounts, which is, I believe in lash industry, it's fine. That's okay. Exactly. Like as soon as you get more clients, you can raise. But how do you avoid that cheap clientele? What we all don't want, it's like these people sometimes, like I know I've been 10 years in the lash industry, I start with $40 per set. And then as I raised my prices to $350, guess what? None of these people who was $40 clients, of course, I didn't do it like overnight from 40 to 350. No, like gradually. I lost all of the clientele what I had, and I had to rebuild the new clientele who be able to pay me my prices what I wanted. So how did you go from like this price point to higher price point without losing these people? Or you just like start running more ads and you feel more comfortable and then you just hitting a different clientele?
So that's an amazing question. So the thing is, like at first, you want to start moderate, right? I always tell everyone start medium low. But as far as avoiding that clientele, once you build a solid foundation and then you raise your prices, you are naturally going to lose people. But now you already have such a good core group of people that they're going to recommend others to you. And you start building from referrals, your portfolio, and ads on top of that. So, and as far as avoiding it, don't run a new special every month. That's what people do wrong is I always say, do a first time client special, get them through the door. But after that, don't run Black Friday, end of the month special, because then they'll just wait for that. So that's how you avoid getting that clientele, the ones that are waiting for a discount. So you only do one special, first time client just to prove your value and your worth. And then once they know that this is like the best set around, they're going to keep coming back for more. So you are kind of gambling on yourself. It's okay to lose a little bit on the front end, but as long as that's what I told my girlfriend to start. I'm like, look, I think you're the best lash tech I've ever seen. I mean, I don't really know much. I'm like, you're the best. I got to hype her up, right? You're the best lash tech I've ever seen. So I'm like, look, let's just get them in for $100. And I know once they're sitting on that chair and they see how good you are, they're going to want to come back for more, no matter what the price is. So that's kind of the mentality I have. Like, it's okay to lose a little on the front end, because once they're there and they see how good you are, they're going to continue to come back for more, no matter what the price is.
I think right now what you're saying, like I wanted to repeat it to people to hear it one more time, because a lot of people just looking for how do I get people, how do I start making money, but they've forgotten very important part. And I want people to hear it as well right now. It's like your quality, it's important. Your education, it's important. If you're doing the best work, period, and you know that you're doing the best work, then you will charge what you charge. And you will know that the people who get into your door, even if they pay in a little bit less in the beginning, they will start to pay you more, because they will see your retention, it's amazing, your sets are amazing, you really care about them, your customer service is great, like your space looking good, clean, like you give additional things like tea, I don't know, chocolate, and then they falling in love with your personality and the way you do the work, then they will be hooked at you. But if you don't provide the quality, don't expect that you will do the money and then you will make a lot right away, or clients will not leave you. Because if they see the sets are messy, or if they falling out fast, they may look good in the beginning, but if you don't have a good retention, client will leave. It's like,
and not to mention the experience you're giving them. So, and look, this is a very hard pill to swallow, but the market is very honest. It's going to tell you if you're good or not. And it's okay if you're not good. If you notice that you get fully booked and they don't come back, that doesn't mean you quit and you stop. It just means, okay, why aren't they coming back? Is it my room? Is it the experience I'm giving? Is it the retention? What is the issue? Then fix it and then do it again and go at it again. But the market's going to tell you if you're good or not. So it's a ruthless market. It's just going to let you know.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people, what they think, they never spend money on ads, for example, right? And they thinking like, oh, right now I'm going to start doing ads and I'm going to be like right away booked. Then the problem comes out, and I've been there as well. That's why, I've been booked through Instagram when I started. And, a lot of times Instagram right now, especially if you're just starting out Instagram, that doesn't work for you anymore as fast as you think it will. Like, yeah, you make reels, but like you also don't know algorithm of the reels. And if they're going to hit your clientele, if you're trying to get the clients from the Instagram, right? So, okay. And you're like, I'm going to start doing ads and I'm going to get the results. So maybe you decide to do ads yourself and, you did it. And you even get some bookings, like, not bookings, but people interesting and texting you on Facebook. But then the hard part starts. It's sales. I just have a student who was like, okay, I'm running the ads on Lash Lift. And we're getting like tons of DMs, but then people don't reply. And what does she does? I'm going to tell you what she does. She just send automatic a reply, what's saved, and it just says booked here. And it's like a link. And she complaining to me that no one booking. So I want you to get this situation. Like, I think it's not only the students. I'm sure you heard, and then tons of people doing the same thing.
1000%. So when people say I'm going to run ads, the ad is one thing, but the back end, the sales process on the back end is the other half of the ad. Running an ad is kind of easy. You run an image, you run some good copy, cool, you can get messages. But if you're just sending them the booking link and you're not building a relationship with them, you're not going to get the booking. So yes, that's the number one mistake I see people make, and it hurts my soul when I see one of my clients send the link. I'm like, please do not do that. Please, I'm begging you. So yeah, you have to, like, the reason a lot of my clients are very successful and why we've been able to grow so fast is like everyone is so transactional. They just want to get as many clients as possible and they want to book as many appointments, but it has to be relational. Not transactional or relational. You have to build a relationship. So that starts with the first DM. If the first DM is, hey, thank you so much for your inquiry. Here's my booking link. Can't wait. That's not building a relationship. That's like, oh, you're just another number. I'm trying to get you in. But if it's like, hey, Anna, how are you doing today? Then they're like, I'm doing good. Awesome. What style do you like? And then you can start to talk, oh, those are so beautiful. You're going to love it. It's perfect for you. Then you can start to build a relationship and sell them. But you're not even selling because sales is helping. So you're just
That was a
helping.
very great question.
Yeah,
And
because
the one question, right? What does they usually tell you in TMs? How much? What's the price? That will be the question. But like, they don't even get it. Like, like when you set the ads, that's usually like, okay, what's the price? I'm interested. Yeah. What's the price? And then you start conversations like, I'm not continue conversation until you tell me the price.
Yes. So people are very direct.
Like, how are you gonna help the people who's like not into the sales? And also a lot of lash artists, we're sitting in our room, we're just doing lashes. We're not like, a lot of them, the introverts, and they don't like pushing their services. So what can you say about that?
Yeah. So with the price thing. So the thing is like, a lot, like, I'll use us for example. We don't accept everyone that wants to work with us. If I don't think I can truly help you, I'm not going to bring you on. If you're in an area that's very populated, I'm already very busy there, I won't bring you on because then the lead cost will be too expensive. Or if you're in an area that's too small, like less than 5,000 people, and I know I can't help you, I'll turn you down. So when someone comes in and how much, because you have to keep in mind, you are interviewing the client just as much as they're interviewing you. So if they come in and say how much, then you might know that they're going to be a headache of a client or very stern and you might not want to work with them. So ask them like, oh, it depends on the style. Which one's your favorite? And then now you can isolate which style they want. But if you just give them your price list, they're going to look at you as a price tag. So you have to say, oh, it just depends on the style. Which one's your favorite? And then you send a photo of the lashes with the collage with the names on it. So that's what we do. So when they say how much, I'm like, okay, send the photo with a collage with the names on it. Ask them what style they like. So now they look at it, they're like, oh, these look so good. Then they get excited. So now instead of just sending a price list, you send a photo and then they're like, this is so beautiful. I want the hybrid. Now they can envision themselves with the hybrid set. And then they're like, I want the hybrid. Then they forget about the how much. And then you can go into to whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So because you're saying about photos and me, I'm like all about the photos, right?
Photo, yes.
A lot of times, it's also like you in psychology, right? If you in sales, you in psychology. So do you believe that we as an artist should send the photos of the girl like a full face or just the eye? Because it's like it's a very questionable question. I think a lot of artists, they take pictures of the eye, but a lot of clients as a client don't understand just the eye picture. They want to see a full face to see full. And imagine that it's how it's going to look on them. Will you say it will be beneficial for beginner lash artists who don't know, yet take like a models, because a lot of people don't want to take a free models. I'm like, I'm still doing it till these days, like what the heck? Like
people don't want to work for free. That's so crazy. My first 5 clients were free, completely free. And then I knew I was good at it. Then I started to charge. Like people are so scared to work for free. You have to put in the work. You can't just get handed people. You have to put in the work and be in the trenches,
Yeah. So I'm like, I will be doing it this. Like if I'm beginner lash artist, I will do in different sets, different styles on the models, different style models as well. Because some people like to see like almost similar hair. Oh, that's gonna look good on me, or the same shape of the face, or it's gonna look good on me. I will be doing it like 5 to 6 or 7 different pictures.
Yeah, I have droopy eyes, so I would want to see someone with droopy eyes and like, oh, okay, I can envision myself.
Different eye sets, different personality, different shapes of the face, different hairstyle, and like doing it a good quality picture as well, so I can send and don't feel embarrassed. Like when I'm sending my picture to this new client, I feel actually grateful and I know that I'm doing a good job, so I know that if somebody else sends it to them, maybe that will be not as great quality. So that's another hook what you already sell the clients on. It's like by the quality of your pictures and quality of your work. And if you're doing it for free, you can take your time and really create a quality job, and then show it to the clients, and that's how you can close as well, right? So like if
100%.
you send them the pictures of different styles say which one you like, because we do have different price sets. Do you believe, because lashes, it's not, it's not like a permanent makeup with $1,000, or it's not like a training what can cost like 2,000 or 3,000, or some other high ticket level, level. Do you think like beginners should get these people on the phone if they have like $150, $200 set?
I don't think they need to. But
Like,
if you have time, if you have time and you're not getting a lot of clients like messaging you, yes, you should definitely hop on the phone, especially if the time, because it's going to develop that skill of talking to people and getting comfortable on the phone. But like a lot of my clients are talking to over 100 people a week, so there's no way that they can call everyone. It's way too much volume. So depending on the volume of people you're talking to, get on the phone, especially if you have time. Really learn that skill set, because 95% of people are scared to get on the phone, you know? So when they get on the phone, I'm like, so a lot of the times with deposits, why not? Because I require everyone to get a deposit. I think if you don't get a deposit, it's going to be hard for them to show up. I don't like putting the card on file because I think they can give you like an insufficient fund or a fake card. So I don't like that method. I like getting a deposit. So with the deposit, I'm like, look, if they don't pay the deposit, because you have to collect their information first. So if they don't pay it, call them and be like, hey, Anna, just checking in. Are you still good for tomorrow at 4 p.m.? And then go from there.
that would be like actually a good question as well, because a lot of people don't take deposits. They either go through a booking or sometimes afraid of asking for a deposit. So what do you do for deposit? How do you take deposits? Like, what's your suggestions for a lot of other people?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I've serviced well over 600 people. So I'm seeing best practices of booking people. So when I see the booking link, okay, the thing with the booking link is when someone is ready to book and then you send them the link, there are 5 to 7 levels of resistance until they finally book. They have to click the link and they have to put in what set they want. Then, God forbid, you have multiple artists. Now you have to pick the artist, then you have to pick the date and then the time, and then you have to put in your card info, and maybe a waiver. So now that's 7 buttons until they book, But if you send them a booking or a Square invoice or a Zelle Venmo, it's like, okay, here's my Venmo, boom, pay. 1 to 2 levels of resistance compared to 7. So it's much easier for them to book. So the way I recommend it is collect the email and phone number first, and then ask for the deposit. You get the deposit through Zelle, Venmo, or with Square. You can do like an online checkout link and just send them the link and they pay it. So you would need to make it as easy as possible for someone to book with you. Don't have so many levels of resistance. So that's what I recommend.
Yeah, that sounds like, because a lot of people right now, if it's not quick, then you're losing this person. They never been to you, and if they already like talking to other people as well, that's if you the last, if you reply too slow or anything like that. I want to get into this as well, because it's very, very,
please.
So I think you should, right? So if you're running the ads and you start to have some volume of messages, you will not have if you don't reply to messages right away, you're losing this person, right? Because these people may interesting with somebody else as well. They just browsing around and trying to find the lash artist who they want to come.
Yes.
So what's your recommendation? What's the it is any particular timeline, or how to do it for people who already working with the clients but want to have more?
So the number one thing when it comes to sales is speed to the lead. The faster you respond, the better. So time frame, as soon as possible. Within 0 to 5 minutes is ideal. After 5 minutes, there's a 77% chance they're not going to convert. Okay, so within 5 minutes, you have a very high chance. After 5 minutes, it drops off by 77% the conversion. So within 5 minutes, but I understand you're lashing, you're in between appointments. So just do it in between appointments. Give yourself a 5 to 10 minute gaps between appointments. Don't book. I mean, I think you and I were talking about this during the Lash Con. The diet of a lash artist is Starbucks at noon, and then they don't eat until dinner time. So make sure you don't book yourself back to back to back to back to back. Give yourself a 5 to 10 minute buffer so you can eat, you can answer messages, and then you can go on with your life. But if you're just doing back to back and you're taking 6 to 8 hours a day to respond, there's going to be some other hungry lash artist that's going to take your clients because they're quicker. People need that speed. You know what I mean?
Or,
So you have to.
or someone who's like, yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, like that makes sense. Like if the people have assistant and some assistant answering to the, to the messages, just to get it fast, so they already beat you in the game. Because a lot of people, like what I'm trying to say, I've been there before as well. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pay marketing agency this money first time when you're getting into the marketing agency, right? And then you're like, okay, on top of it, I have to spend the ad budget, and then you just think that's it. You're gonna like boom, like you're just like, okay. But you don't
Yeah.
know all the process behind it. And I think I want people to understand this is not only a secret code what marketing people will do for you, or it's also a sales I didn't think about. I didn't think about it. I need to do it. And like, I have to get comfortable on the phone, or I have to call anybody or text anybody. I was kind of like my students the other day, like, so laughing, I guess, because I did exactly the same thing. And she's like, why are they not booking? It's just a lash lift. That's what she told me. It's just a lash lift. It's $100. It's just like it's a regular service. I'm like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it's like you didn't sell them on the ad. They just saw your ad. It doesn't.
Now the real work begins. Because
Right?
look, people don't buy from you; they buy from people they know, like, and trust. So from the ad, yes, they know your service, but they don't know who Anna is. So you have to sell them on you. You're not selling the lash lift, because you're right; it is just a lash lift. It is just $100, but everyone's doing lash lift. So what separates Anna from the lash lift? So that's where you come in. You sell them on you, like get excited for them, make them feel like they're special, and then they're gonna book. So yeah, the ad is half of the work. The sales on the back end is the other half, which that's why I like what I do, because I can tell you what to say. I'm gonna give you a script and I'll just say what I tell you to say, because I know what's working. So just copy and paste what I tell you to say, do it quickly. That's the only requirement I tell people. If you don't think you can respond quickly, you won't be successful. I tell them that straight up. If you're gonna take 6 to 8 hours every day to book an appointment, you won't be successful. But if you can commit to between 5 minutes to maybe 2.5 hours at the max each day to get to all the messages, and I know it gets overwhelming, I know it's hard, but you signed up to be a business owner. It's not easy. And especially if you're a slow business owner, like you're a lash artist and you're slow, you have the time to do it. So you have to put in the work. You're right. It's not just we turn on an ad, you start booking clients left and right. You have to work, And that work is getting to the messages
I think
quickly.
a mentality of like, okay, now I'm paying, and because I never paid before and I get the clients before for free, now if I'm paying, I gotta have to have like, they didn't think it's actually work. They just think ads will do it for you. And I'm really grateful that we're talking about that, because I mean, again, getting the people from Instagram, it's getting harder. I don't think a lot understand that, like if I used to be able to like book the trainings just through Instagram, just by posting, it's definitely different now, just because it's like, again, you're getting a lot of more competition in the market. That's just what it is, like, and it's only going to grow. And the artists who more of a sharks, they just starting, but they great. I see like people who taken a lot of classes right away and get very good very fast, and they are eager to invest and do something, because when you get comfortable, you don't want to work as much, right? It's like, this is just like your comfortable zone now, and then the people who humbling, they overbooking you, and they can be next door to you as a salon owner, for example, right? This is what it comes out to. And I think we talk about that in the LashCon, we talk about recession, and I really like what you say. And I'm like, instead of like thinking about recession, I'm going to invest more into my ads. Can you say a little bit about that? So I want people to start understanding we are in a business, and it is a business. People invest into business. We're not just doing like lashes. It's, if you decide to have it as a career, you got to take it serious. You got to invest. I didn't think this way before as well. I just get the clients very easy because Instagram worked before. Like like this, 8 years ago, I was just like having like 20 to 30 DMs who want to book with me. But I also didn't have a lot of competition who did Russian volume in New York City, in Manhattan, so all of that was just working out for me and I get booked very fast. And then when I moved to Arizona, I'm like, I need to invest. This is actually a business, like it's just something I think doesn't occur to a lot of lash artists and even the trainers when we talk to the trainers, because they also did the same thing. They started training in the right amount of in the right timing when everything worked, and it was not a lot of amount of trainers who do good quality work. So Instagram worked. Now it doesn't. It worked, but it doesn't work at the same time. Like you got to put a lot of time into Instagram to be able to get that people.
Yeah, and I'll say this: the lash artists now that are going to start now or are just starting, if they keep going and they don't quit, they're going to be better than a lot of lash artists from 3-4 years ago because they have to work harder. They're not going to be as spoiled, with Instagram where you weren't only seeing 10%, 10% of your followers weren't seeing your stuff. It was everyone seeing your stuff. Now only 10% see it. So the ones that make it out now are going to be much more successful because they have that grit. They did it during a recession, quote unquote. They did it during the time the algorithm isn't on their side. They did it when there's so much competition. So the ones that can be successful now and get started now and not stop, they're going to be much better off than the ones that kind of came in a little early. Everyone got them and they started off strong, So that's what I'll say. And as far as, what did you just ask me again?
So we talk about recession, right? And you were saying like you're going to actually do opposite as people afraid of investing money during recession. And I think that was my concern also as well. They're like, okay, what's going to happen? And you say that very particular thing that you're going to actually max up your ads to come up stronger from recession. So I want to share it to other people as well. So tell me.
So look, when everyone's zigging, you have to zag. So during a recession, everyone thinks contraction. Let me save money. Let me play it safe. Let me play small. Let me protect what I have. But what I'm going to do and what the successful companies do, they do the opposite. They spend more money on marketing. They spend more money on themselves. They spend more money on giving the customer experience because now people are going to be less likely to spend money, right? So that's why you have to be even better to make them want to spend money with you. So when everyone's contracting, I'm going to expand. I'm going to double my ad spend. I'm going to double my clients' customer service. I just hired 4 people today. Literally today, that's what I was doing all morning is hiring because I'm going to go even harder now. So I'm hiring more. I'm expanding. I'm spending more. Everyone now is cut. What did Amazon do this week? Cut 10,000 people. What did Facebook do? They cut 11,000. All these companies, everyone is cutting employees. That's why the small businesses have such a big opportunity to grow. You have to hire more. You have to spend more. You have to work more because now it's such a good opportunity to really separate yourself and really get gritty. Because if you can be successful now when things are quote unquote hard, you're going to do even better when things are easy, Mm-hmm. And then back to your point about investing in yourself. It's not just investing in ads, because I've had people where the first thing they do is they do ads. Like and then they get so many clients in 2 weeks, but then that sometimes hurts them because they don't realize going from 2 clients to 25 can hurt you more than it helps you. Yeah, it sounds good. I'm starting to make money, but then you're like, oh my God, my retention sucks. Now 25 people know my retention is bad and they're not going to come back. So now you just burn. Yeah. What happened?
Bad marketing for yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I got you the clients and they came to the door, but you weren't ready for it. So now 25 people are never going to come back to you. Now you have to keep getting more people. And now your name is a little tainted. So make sure so you have to make sure you're ready for that explosion from 2 to 5 people a week to 25. Because a lot of things break when you go from 5 people to 25. You realize like, oh my God, I don't have enough supplies. My retention isn't that good. So you have to make sure you're ready for that explosion. Because trust me, I've seen it. I've had people book 25 people in a week.
Ask you if you have any examples with like people who booked with your agency who was like, really, I'm not knowing what I'm doing, I really don't have any clients, and they just go with you, and then just like because of course I by myself, like I will be not doing my own ads. I will be probably like more like I always trusted somebody. I don't do my own ads. Who know, because it's a lot of things with getting into the ads. And I want to just say, like, from my perspective as like somebody who don't do it, it's like a lot of things what we don't know can actually not work, like it's starting from uh, the creative, like what you create, like the picture or the video, what you do, then from the audience, what you create, to all of the little details. And then you have to like constantly watch how the ad performing. And if it
Yes, a
doesn't
lot of people think
perform well,
they think you just turn an ad on and you're good to go. No,
no,
every day we go into
that's,
all of our accounts and optimize it. You have to make sure it's consistently working. But yeah, I've had a ton of people that get started, and then this earlier in my career, we've been doing this for about 17 months now. So earlier in the business, I would just take on people. But then I realized like this isn't for everyone. Sometimes when someone is so new and they're taking 4 hours to do a full set, and the number one question I always ask people is like, are you confident? Are you confident to go from 2 people a week to 15? And if they say no, or I see any hesitation, I'm like, you're not ready, because people will tell you if you're good or not. And like I said, the market is very truthful. So I wouldn't want to hurt their confidence by getting them so many people, because sometimes, yeah, it sounds good to get so many people, but sometimes it's not the best thing for you. And you said something earlier about investing in yourself. My mentor told me your first 100,000 should all go back into you, whether that's through
what?
marketing, whether it's
We
through
get the mentor.
education. Yeah, you have to, whether it's through, whether you're investing in books, in educators, in mentors, in coaches, in marketing, whatever it is, that 100,000 should go back into you, because now you're building skills. It's called skill stacking. You have to stack skills. Okay, you learn how to market yourself organically on Instagram. Okay, now you know how to talk to people. You know how to sell. Okay, now you know how to do paid ads. Okay, now you know how to kind of train and teach. Okay, now you know how to build a team. Then that's how you start a business. That's how you grow a business. It's by stacking skills. So now, with the skills I've stacked and learned, because my first 100,000, I mean, I told you this the other day. I literally spent 100,000 on a coach the other day. Every year since I was 19, I'm 26 now. Since I was 19, I spent probably $500 on education. When I was 20, probably 5,000. 21, 10. Every year I spend more money on myself. Every year my bill and it's a write off, and people don't get that. And your education is a write off. So every year my bill keeps getting bigger on investment on myself. I just bought a coach for 100,000. I go to conferences, seminars, lash conference. Like, people are so worried to invest in themselves and put the work in up front, because they're like, what if it doesn't work out? Like, it
Yeah,
will work out.
yeah, it cannot work out, but it also will be experience. We forgot about that experience. Now that's, for example, doesn't work out for
Such a
you.
good point.
I
Such a
want
good
to
point.
say, because we get into that, and I just like realizing this, and I want to really say to people so they hear it, because experience, when you failing, it is experience as well. They on like mountain biking, they teach you first how to fail, because if you don't know how to fail correctly, you will never be able to do mountain biking or something like that. In another mentalities, and in another, like I think in another sport as the same thing, because failing, it's like if you know how to fail correctly, you be able to get up and go. You know what
But
I
is
mean?
there even failing? But there is no failing, because
It is
you are
no,
learning.
it just
It's
like
learning. Yeah,
it
it's
in our
corny.
head. It is all learning. If, for example, I know like some people say like Instagram don't like me, but YouTube like me. I run my ads on YouTube. It's not for lash artists. It's more for like people who do like the educational materials. But how do they get there? Because they probably tried it on Instagram and tried it on YouTube and tried it in another platform and tried it on the TikTok and find out what actually worked for them. Does it mean they fell in Instagram? No, they just find out that Instagram is not for them, or maybe they just didn't spend enough of time there to understand how it's going to work for them. But they already find out like YouTube worked for them, right?
You know what's so powerful that I heard the other day? Rich people, successful people have lost more money than broke people, because we're always investing in ourselves, taking that risk, investing into this coaching, into this mentor. We're spending money on ads. We're testing. We're seeing what's working. But broke people are so scared to spend money. They're like, oh my God, I got to save the money that I have. But they don't have any money. So they're like, I need to save it. I need to make sure I don't spend anything. But then rich people are like, let me do it. Let me test. And then they go broke. But we're learning. Like, it's stacking failure, stacking wins, stacking success.
I'm gonna say right now, I'm even knowing what people listening, and they probably thinking about, it's easy for you to say you're making money. Let's get to the story. Like, are you always make money or not? And how did you start to?
Not. So
I'm just knowing, like every time when I'm
yeah,
here,
yeah.
it's gonna be like, yeah, it's easy for you investing into like coaches, and no, every time it's like it's hard. Like I'm taking it away from my pocket, but I know it's gonna be better for me. And I don't know if that coach will work, but I believe like he still know better than I do.
And it's not even about, a lot of people say this, what am I gonna get? What is this, what is Anna gonna give me? It's not about what Anna's gonna give me, it's what am I gonna take from it? That's the mindset shift they have to make. It's not what is she gonna give me. What happened?
It's an adult's mindset when you're taking responsibility on you.
You have to. So when I invest into a coach, it's not like, okay, what are they going to give me? It's what am I going to get from them? That's the key. That's how you become successful with anything you do. You have to take full accountability. Because if you're just like, oh, this marketing guy sucks, he got me 300 people to talk to, but only 5 people booked. Was it all these leads suck? All these leads suck. Is it the leads or is it you? Are you saying the right things? Are you sending the booking link? And yeah, it's hard to realize that, like, damn, maybe I'm just not good enough, but that's okay because now you're self-aware. Because I've always heard Gary Vee say self-awareness. I never knew what that meant, but if you are not self-aware that maybe you just aren't that good at messaging, or maybe your attention just isn't that good, but now you know what to work on. Like, I know that I'm not good at hiring and coaching, but I'm getting better now. So now I just made 4 hires. I'm probably going to lose a lot of money because I'm not going to be the right leader for them at this moment, but I'm going to learn what to do differently. So yes, I'm taking a big loss of that. And back to the money thing, when I was 19, I had no money, but I invested that $500 that I had, and then I got something from that conference. And then when I was 20, I started to learn sales was the first thing I learned. So now I have a skill that now, even if everything blows up and I'm not doing what I'm doing now, I will never make less than a certain amount of money because I have a certain amount of skills. I could go to a car dealership, make 20,000 a month, no matter what, because of my skill set. Because now that kind of gives me the confidence. So that's why I'm not really scared of anything, because I've invested so much into me. Every time, I told you that first 100,000 legit went all into me. So every time I get money, I put it into me, whether it's books. My library is crazy, whether it's books or coaches or listening to podcasts or anything, just because that gives me the confidence to do whatever I want to do, to do this lash business or to do sales or whatever it might be. Now I believe in me. So if you don't have money, you need to spend more money on you.
Yeah. I mean, I always give the example that I took a very cheap education as my first lash education. Like I only paid like 500 for a day, and then okay, like it was 10 years ago, but doesn't matter because that education doesn't give me anything, and I have to actually reinvest in myself much, much, much more to get any information, because it was pretty much, this is lashes, you put it on, that's your training. I do believe people who don't charge, and I always try to put it on Instagram, people who don't charge, they don't charge for the reason. That's the reason behind it, because they don't feel confident to take what they want. That's why they lowering the prices for not services, but for a training, for example, or something. Because if you're a good trainer and you invest into yourself, how you will lower your training cost? I'm like, this is almost no way, because your worth.
Do you see Louis Vuitton going on sale?
No.
Or Lamborghini going on sale, or Chanel? Because they know their value in the marketplace. So when people ask, can I get a discount? I'm like, this is not a discount service. I know the value I'm going to bring you, and I know you're going to get amazing results. So this is the same value. You have to value yourself and your work. If you know your education is going to completely change their life and they're going to get the best results ever and be the best lash artist they can be, why would you discount yourself?
Discount only for the ads to get people in, and then never discount after. I mean, I never discount.
Never. Yeah, like if you're really struggling to get clientele, definitely first-time clients. Because when you discount the first-time client, there's a reason you're doing it for the first-time client. But if you're doing a discount every month, then you're just devaluing yourself. So yeah, yes. Only the first time. But other than that, I never run any sales deals or anything like that, because I don't want people to think that I'm a discount service. Of course. And lashing is different. First-time clients for sure. After that, be very, very stern with it. Don't just offer random discounts.
Yeah. So first time it's just to get them in the door and try you out. And then also I think
Yeah.
people and with the lashes, these people coming back to you every 2 to 3 weeks. So even if you pay for that client, because we're getting, again, people afraid of spending money on ads, right? If that client come back to you and that client cost you, I don't know, what's usually the lead cost for lash clients?
Like
Depends on yeah, but like
it depends, but yeah, we get about like $250 per lead, and about that's kind of, let's say it's $250 per
average
lead.
because then like only a few people sign up. It's not going to be all 300 people
Exactly.
sign up.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
It's $40 for actual legit client who will pay you.
Perfect. Yes.
A lot of people think like $250 per lead. That's like that's all. I'm like, no, that's actually going to be messages we get. Plus on top of it, like, how many people you closed. So that's how you count, like, what's your lead cost. And if you're thinking, yes, of course, like, for example, I'm always pitching for higher prices on the lash industry. So I'm going to take like your services is 200, for example, right? Because you already legit artist, you already been doing it, you just want to like get more clients because some of your clients maybe leaved or something, or maybe you start hiring a girl because you want to grow your team. Maybe for the girl you discounted, but like even so, we're talking about 200 minus $40, it's 160, and this client will come back to you for a touch up. Let's say every 3 weeks, not even 2 weeks.
If you're good,
you're good. You're good. You work invest into your retention. So your refill cost in 3 weeks is 110, for example, right? How many times in a year you'll see that client? If it's 3 weeks, like, okay, let's say 12. We're just not gonna like get into like and then it's gonna give you $1,320 from the lead what you get for 40. That's a pretty good investment. Like if we just never think about the price point, and we never think about like how much it will actually bring you in a yearly basis if you be able to keep that client with a good customer.
That's a long view of thinking, and a lot of business owners struggle with that. This is how you can tell between a good business owner and a bad one. The bad one's like, okay, I spent $100 this week, I better make 100 back next week. That's short-term thinking. A good business owner is like, okay, if I spend 100 now, that means I'm going to get 1,300 throughout the year. That's long-term thinking. The best business owners are always thinking 1, 5, 10 years ahead, not spend money now and make money tomorrow. That's not a good way. A lot of the bigger companies, their marketing strategy is to lose money on the front end client for 6 months before they see a penny from that client, because they believe in themselves. The lifetime value is more important than that first initial visit. So that's the same concept. You don't have to wait 6 months because they have money to spend on ads. Right now, we need money a little bit quicker. So if you can just wait 2 weeks, spend the money, get the client and keep them coming back, that's how you're going to be successful. But it doesn't have to be as immediate. But that's such a good point, because a lot of people don't realize that's the marketing strategy for the Coca-Colas, the Target. That's what they do. They lose money for 6 months, and then they know they're going to keep that client for 3 years. And then that's how you make money in marketing.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I remember I was listening to one guy, he was like having a very successful ad or something like that. Very like big. They making like millions and millions and millions. And he was saying like everything what I'm making, I'm reinvesting into the marketing because I want to sell that ad, so like he legit like didn't make, like when you listening, it's like $20 million a month or something like that, that's what they was making. And then almost like 19 or 15 will go back to like developing and marketing, because he's like, I want to sell it for really, and you just understand how, because we start as an independent business owners and like, we just, or it's like we having a lush room, and we thinking just very small in that point.
Yes.
And it's okay. And I guess like the point of this whole conversation is to open up a little bit to the ad structure and possibilities and what you can do. Like imagine like from the slash room, you're investing money into the ads. I don't know, like you decide to learn it on your own, or you decide to go to with the company who actually knowing how to do it, which will be my idea of it, because I probably will be like, I'm doing lashes. I don't have time to manage all of the what's going on with the ads. But the thing is with the mindset of what we have, because we are starting as individual, like, contractors, like individual business owners, we don't think about like, okay, but what if I'm going to build like I'm going to start investing in money into the ads. Maybe I'm suffering for a couple of months, but then I have more people coming into me, and now I can hire another person. And then now, from hiring another person and get her booked, because I know how to get me booked, and it's all cold leads, so that doesn't mean they only want to book with me, because one of the problem what I ran into when I start to hire people, it's like my clients didn't want to go to other. My clients only want, because they find me through Instagram, they know me as a personality, so they don't recognize me as a designer, as my brand name, because I was Lashes by Anna back in the days, okay, in Instagram. So I also made the mistake. I did my name into my Instagram as well, like, so people think like they come into Lashes by Anna, and then they want to get lashed.
Do you think that's a big mistake that lash artists make, because they put lashes by their name?
Do
you think they can start like that and then eventually change? What are your thoughts on that?
That's a good question. I do believe you better think about your name right away, because if you're going to grow and scale, right away, that will be harder for you, because a lot of people will recognize you by their handle. When I changed my handle, I lost a lot of my followers, because I already was like well-known lash artist on Instagram, and they remembered me as Lashes by Anna, by Designer, because Designer was not even existing, so. And then I lost people. They may not gonna find me on Instagram. We did that thing where we create another account, say Lashes by Anna, transfer to Designer. But again, how many people will saw it, go over? So what happened is, like, because I changed my name on Instagram, and people very memorable, guys. People remember you by the photo what you have on Instagram. Everyone have different psychology. Some remember by name, some remember by, I'm visual person, I remember by icons. So if somebody changing icons, you may lose me. I'm like, I don't know who you are. So like, it's good, but like, keep it in your branding color, keep it with the logo. I don't know, I will not recommend to have a name, just because I'm like, it's not going to take you long. You can ask your followers, you can ask your friends, and figure out the name for your business, right. Because you need to have like LLC, you need to have like all of that documents as well. So you're not going to like have a documents with like Lashes by Jane or something like that on your LLC, so. And if you want to rebrand later and your Instagram for some reason like boom, because you invest like into the ads, or because you like make the reels and some reels go viral, then when you want to change it, that will be very hard. You may run up into the problems. People will not remember you, and you will lose some clientele, like some people.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
Like, for clients, if you just by yourself, and then now you decide to add another artist, now it's like, okay, are you Lashes by Jane, but you have another person? You know what I mean? Like, that would happen to me. I was Lashes by Anna, and I added people into my salon, and I'm like, and everyone want to get booked with me, because all my page was about my work. And it was like transition, of course, like for me to start.
That comes down to a long-term thinking. What do you see your business in a year?
Definitely.
None of us do, but none of us do. Like, we're just like, okay, let's make some money now. Let's figure out now. But then once you really start to get settled in and understand, like, if you can have that skill early to think long-term when you're just starting, you'll be much farther than Anna or myself, because you already have that long-term thinking. That's a hard skill to develop. So that's such a good point, so that's good for them to know now.
I want to share my story, like when I was doing the studio, I didn't invest, and and I listened to Gary Vee, and he's saying invest, and I still didn't do it, because I'm like, I think it's going great. Why should I? So right now, and I want to everyone to listen, please invest now, because what happened with me, I did make money, and I wish I invested it then, because my money was very consistent because of the studio going well, so I wish I did it then, for example, after I decided to close the studio, and I need to get into consistency again, and I did. But I feel like if I was investing then into my Instagram or something, like just ads constantly, so people recognize me even more, get to 100K, get to like 150K followers, whatever, I will be feeling so much safer than, for example, when I close my studio and I decide to move and I start like from the beginning and scratch. And only when I lost almost everything, I start to invest. Why do we need to get to this point? Like, this is the craziest thing. Like, I start like my mindset shifted, like, because I'm like, oh, so I'm not getting the same thing from Instagram anymore, and now I need to invest. Because I'm seeing a lot of other people who don't have a lot of engagement and don't have a lot of like connection and have 5 likes, but still making like a great money. I'm like, what do they know what you know what I mean?
For sure.
Like, you probably can, like, you can relate to it, because a lot of people think if we're getting the followers, if we're getting the likes, and we're getting like reels going on like viral, then we're making money. And I just think this is not always what it is, but that's how it's look on Instagram. For example, your Instagram, it's Lash Marketer, right?
Yeah. No. Lash Launch.
Lash Launch. Okay. Because you say Lash Marketer after
On the bottom. Yeah.
in the search. So if you look at your Instagram, right, maybe your engagement not the best, but you making a great amount of money per month, without this, just by doing ads.
So honestly, yes. So everything you said is true. So it is the ads, but honestly, for 6 months of this year, we didn't run any ads because of our organic, which is only 5,000 followers, but we're so relational. Like, I talk to everyone. Everyone that follows us, we send a message like, hey, if you need anything, let me know. Like, I actually care. You know what I mean? Like, I want people to be successful, and I actually care. So yeah, we hit 7 figures our first year. We had 2,000 followers. We hit 7 figures. And you don't need the big following, but if you actually care and provide a good product, and you think you're the best, and you actually know you're the best, and you exude that confidence, you're gonna get clientele. So you don't need. Yeah, I mean, paid ads are great, but so what a lot of people do, paid ads is the fuel. We already had a fire built organically. We had a good product. We had good clientele, but then the fuel is the ad. So then we put some fuel on it and it blew up. But a lot of people put fuel in a bad fire. And then they're like, you don't want to blow up a bad product. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes ads will hurt you more than it helps you. If you aren't confident, know you're the best, and ready to really explode from 10 to 30 people a week.
So let's get the formula for people, right? If we're going to think about formula will be, first, you having a good Instagram presence, get your game of the pictures, right? Get your game of like the reels, whatever you need to do to reach some audience organically.
And a good follower and a good Instagram doesn't mean 50,000 followers. It could be,
I think, like
500 followers.
Like less than 1,000 people for if you local artists and you're just shooting for like, I want to get more clientele locally, like, you don't need all this 5,000. You don't need like 6,000. How many of them will be real local clients?
If you take photos like Anna, you have 200 followers and you're posting consistently and they know you're real and you're active, you will get followers compared to someone that has 50,000 followers that's not very active and doesn't take the best photo. So you have to be active. You have to take good quality photos, and you just have to. And honestly, this is a big mistake that we make, that I make, is I don't get on camera. So a lot of the times it's hard to build trust. But if I got on camera, we would build even more trust, which is why we're trying to transition into that.
It was like,
you and I talked about it.
What I when we met, you came to LashCon and say hi. And I'm like, who is that person? And I know that I will talk to, I know that I'm going to meet the person from Lash Lounge in the LashCon because we talked on Instagram. And I didn't know because in your Instagram, it's always a girl.
Yes. Yeah.
And
So
her to come and like talk to me. And that's another thing what a lot of lash artists don't know, and then they don't do, and I hope they're also going to hear it from this podcast right now, is Instagram present of yourself. Because
important.
I have so many people come to me and I'm like, we talked to you on Instagram, do you remember me? And I'm like, I wish, show me your Instagram name. I'm looking through Instagram and I only see the faces of the client's eyes, and I'm like, of course I'm not be able to even know who you are just because I look through all Instagram. I'm trying to get to like 100 pictures down and I'm like, where are you? How did you look?
Number one mistake that they make is they don't have their names in their Instagram. They just have whatever their company is called and they don't post themselves. That is really, because you got to keep in mind, like we were saying earlier, people buy from people they like. They don't just buy because a lot of lash artists' Instagram is just a bunch of lash photos and then it all blends together and you can't see the quality of it. But if you do a lash photo, you do something valuable or motivational, and then you post yourself or your studio or your dog or your Starbucks, now they know you're a real person. Oh, I can relate to that. I like Rottweilers, and then they're like, oh, I have one too. And then they can relate to you. They like you. They buy from you. Because people, there's a lash artist in every corner. So what separates you from them is like the relatability factor. But if you're not posting yourself, they don't know what you're about. You're not going to get clientele.
So let's go back to the formula. So first, it's an Instagram present, like good quality picture, good quality work, investing into yourself. If you don't know how to like take pictures, take classes for taking pictures. If you don't know how to post on Instagram or what to post, it's a bunch of, I think it's like tons of right now, like educational videos or classes. I'm more into like buying the classes because they give you right away everything than like watching YouTube video, just because you're going to spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos and may not get all of the information what you needed. But it's also up to you guys. It's two ways. I'm just saying, like, you taking money for time or time, like, it's like
beautiful.
Like something what you cannot get back. So
you're paying for convenience, you're paying for speed. And then thing about investing in yourself, if someone's offering a course about taking photos and their photos suck, don't go with them. If they're offering a course about taking photos and they're Anna quality photos, you better work with her. So make sure whoever you're taking advice from is doing what you want to do, because
I'm so like I'm because my first experience was so bad. After that, I never took this. I went to Russia for my first permanent makeup class. Didn't have that much money, but I spent $10,000 because my machine was only like, oh no, my God, what I'm saying, it was not 10, it was 30,000 grand. Yeah, because my machine was $10,000. And I have to spend 3 weeks in Russia and I have to like buy all of the expensive materials, which is now I know it's not what's supposed to be, but I guess I was so caught up into my cheap class in the first time. I'm like, I'm never doing it again, so, but my point is, it always was, it's like, if you see that quality work of what you see, it doesn't matter how many followers they have. It's not about that. If they quality work, I don't care if you have one follower, I want to learn from you. But you provide me that it's your photos, you provide me that it's your work, actually, then I want to learn from you. I don't care how famous you are, because I want to know quality. The same thing with like any marketing agency or anything, like, I want to like proof. And I don't care like how many followers you have, because a lot of times right now we're thinking about like, oh, she have 100K followers. That means she knows something. A lot of times, guys, just open up the truth for you. A lot of times it's like a fake followers, okay, and fake comments.
A lot of the time. If you see 100,000 followers and they have 17 likes, don't listen to them. Even when we had
likes right now, you can buy.
Go through the comments. All of that. Exactly. When we had when we had like 1,000, 1,500 followers, we had probably over 250, 300 testimonials. That means 70% of my followers were testimonials. That's how you know they're real. That's how you know they're legit. You know what I mean? So a lot of people will have 1,000 followers, 17 likes, and like one testimonial that's all blurry and you can't see. So don't trust that person. Trust the people that have
The price point are matching your price point, because you're gonna lose
oh my God.
like you're just
Look,
gonna lose.
the number one lesson I learned last year is it's expensive to be cheap. I keep trying to save money on this course, or I'll go with the Walmart brand instead of the good brand, and then it always breaks, and then I have to buy it sooner, and I double the payment. So it's expensive to be cheap. So invest that good money.
My dad used to say, we're not that rich to buy cheap quality.
That's so well put. That we're not that rich to buy cheap quality. That is so. I thought it's expensive to be cheap was good, but that's way better. I'm stealing that. I'm stealing that. We're not that rich to buy cheap quality. That is genius, because that's so true. You are not that rich to buy cheap quality because it's gonna break down. God, I love that so much. I'm taking that. I'm stealing it.
Thank you for my dad.
That's good.
Yeah, it was really good. So you have your Instagram, you learn how to take a pictures. Now you're not embarrassed of like the work. For example, you already knowing how to do lashes, you good, you took a courses. Now you know how to take a quality pictures and present yourself on Instagram and social media. And only then you will suggest to start running the ads, because I do believe if you don't have like a good quality of work and pictures, then it's hard to run the ads as well. Because like, right, if you're in a competitive market and somebody have like a great picture and good quality of like photo, and then you like very, very, very like blurry photo, that probably ad will not work as great as somebody who's
100%. But I tell people, like, running ads, your Instagram is important, all that's important, but the thing is, are you confident? It's hard to ask people for money. If you're not good, I wouldn't be able to ask someone for $100 or $50 if I don't think I'm worth it. So first things first, be confident that you are able to go from 2 clients to 25 or 10 or 15. That's first things first. And then the Instagram short term isn't going to hurt you. Of course, if your photos are blurry or whatever, it's not going to be good. But short term, it might not hurt you. But long term, it's going to hurt you. Because if I'm getting you 200, 300, 500 people to reach out to you and ask for an appointment or for more info, and then let's say out of 200, you book 35 of them. Okay, so now you got 35 new clients. Those 170 people that didn't book with you, they're going to stalk you. They're going to follow you. They're going to make sure you're good. But if you're not posting, or you're not posting well, you're not going to do good in the long term. So short term, not really. I could honestly get someone off the street that has nothing and get them booked out very quickly. But long term, it's going to affect them. You don't want to pay for ads forever. So I tell people, like, the biggest package I run is 3 months, because after 3 months, most of my clients don't need me. They're fully booked. Now they have recurring clientele.
They're doing a good work. They should be.
If they're doing good work, they don't need me. So that's why we don't offer anything more than 3 months, because most people leave us after 3 months because they're fully booked. And that's how you know you're doing it right. So after 3 months, you should be good. But yeah, long term, it's going to hurt you if you're not posting consistently. So yeah, short term, it doesn't affect you. Long term, you have to be on top of that. And now that you're getting clients, take the photos, take the time to, and make it a process. Like, people make it so difficult. Like, oh, I don't want my client to lay any longer. Just make it quick. Take 3 angles you always take it from. Take the full face. Maybe take one up, and then pre-book your fill. Done.
Make it a process. You know what I usually say when people say like, oh, clients don't want to lay down for long? Because I teach students to put the makeup on after, if they want to take good photo. I'm not saying to do it for everyone, but like I'm saying it like, okay, that the great client, beautiful client with a good lash line, and that
and smile.
Amazing.
Just quick tip: make sure they always smile in the photos too. Just tip.
Like taking a full face, like make them smile. Take a testimonial video, but then video you have to be with the makeup. They're not gonna look great. Like we have the patches on their eyes, like what we take off, and then the half of makeup it's there, half of it's not. That's not a good quality selling video or testimonial, because videos right now a little bit more, over than the photo, for example. I'm saying like, and that 15 minutes on the makeup, it's usually 10. I even show that on Lash Pod on a class. I put the makeup for a model to look good on the camera for like 15 minutes. Like that was all. A BB cream, like a little bit of the blush, highlighter. That's all.
So only do this, so not to new people. Like, would you ask them beforehand, like someone you know, like a good client, and be like, hey, is it okay if I do this? Or would you just do it?
Yes, you can ask the client if they have to do it, or while they're waiting until their lashes dry to open up the eyes. I will be like 5 minutes applying a little bit of blush. I'm like, you're gonna go with the all makeup done, so you don't have to worry. Because I'm like, again, if we are girls,
That's good.
like this is extra care. But I'm not gonna do it for every single client to spend 15 more minutes with every single client. But like I'm saying, if you're gonna take a picture with the makeup already, you don't have to do a lot of Photoshop. And Photoshop take more than the 15 minutes. Just okay, so you are like spending the time, but like you spending more editing this photo on your phone, and it's almost still impossible to edit great when it's no makeup, so it's like you still wasting. I'm like just taking my video, like video you can't Photoshop, and if it's not a good quality, we all loving by the eyes, so I'm like just that 15 minutes, like in the end with like a little bit of the makeup, not for every single client, but when you really want to photograph your work and very like put it in the ad, for example, like I'm sure you love when somebody sent you like a good quality pictures.
Oh yeah, I'm like, oh, there we go, yeah.
Because that it's eye catchy.
Wow, okay. That's such a good tip. Because you're right, 15 minutes putting makeup or 25 minutes photoshopping.
I usually say like have a different BB creams, like different color of BB cream in the bathroom. If you don't want to do it yourself, let them go and do it.
Wow, that's such a good tip. They need to do that.
Let them put the BB cream on. You only need to put blush. That's only take 5 seconds.
Wow.
They still go in the bathroom, like get themselves clean. That's the BB creams up there. Choose the one for them. They can apply it on themselves. You don't even have to do it.
And now they have makeup when they leave the appointment and they're fully done up. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Because a lot of times we're taking the tape off. This is how brows are done. This is no eye, like right here it's bad, So, okay, our formula, it's like, you don't even have to have an Instagram, as you say, right? To start with the ads. You can have one, but like, it doesn't have to be like, as people think, something crazy, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be massive. Yep.
But like the most important it's that you providing a good quality service. You make sure that that you will deliver the results and good retention, and you be able to handle amount of clientele what's gonna come, and you be able to answer very quickly, because if you don't, then you're losing.
Yes, 100%. And the thing is, like, the number one, like a lot of people say, I could sell anything. Like, you don't want to sell anything. If I don't believe in something, I'm not going to sell it. So another thing, the first things first when it comes to sales or helping people is, do you believe in what you're selling? If I didn't believe in what I was selling, I wouldn't be able to sell my product. But since I'm so confident that I'm going to make their money back and I'm going to get them fully booked, I'm screaming it to the world, you need to work with me because I'm going to change your life, make you a ton of money, and get you booked and busy. But if you don't feel that way about yourself, don't run any ads.
Gotcha. Okay. So of course, if they're in the lash industry, I'm sure they believe in the lashes. Now they have to believe in themselves that they providing a good quality service and they doing a great job, better than most of them. So for that, I highly recommend get additional education, definitely, and like invest into yourself every like year or more. Like constantly getting new trainings, and then if they want to reach out to you because they don't want to do their own ads, what does she do? What they supposed to do? What kind of like, so getting into like what's your services is, how long it go for? You say like 3 months, but tell us a little bit more, like what do you do? And I know it's like you doing it for your Facebook, right?
Yeah, for sure. So if anyone is needing clients and they're ready to starting ads, just reach out to us on the Lash Launch Instagram. Send us a DM. I'll be in there. Me and my team will set up a Zoom call. Make sure it's a good fit. First off, make sure we can provide you value, and then we'll get you started. Yeah, my intention is to wear the marketing hat for people. You're a lash artist, a mom, a dog owner. You're so many hats. So let me wear that hat for you and get you booked and busy. So yeah, we set up a Zoom call. We make sure it's a good fit. I'll start getting you clients within 24 hours. I'll start getting you messages. I'll give you a script. I'll tell you exactly what to say. Just make sure you have the time that you can go in there nice and quick, respond to it. I know it might be a little overwhelming at first, but I promise it's worth it because you will get a good amount of bookings. And then that's it. That's really all we offer. I get you people to talk to. I tell you what to say. You talk to a minimum 200 people a month guaranteed. And with that much volume, someone's going to book with you, especially with the proven script. That's the key to it.
That's like, I really like that you give the proven script, like I worked with a agency before, and I think like the best part that you specialize in lashes. I worked with a different
That's the key.
I did like, they was just doing the ad work, whatever, but they was not in the beauty industry whatsoever, so that's the thing. Like, I think for somebody who's in the industry, especially, your girlfriend can always like help you out if you running out to any of like lash specific problem, right? Like, she can tell you exactly what it is. Like,
and honestly, at this point, I know everything about lash. I know it all. And I'm connected to so many great people like you, like a lot of the high level influencers. So I really do know way too much about lashes and the industry, because I'm talking to lash artists all day,
Okay.
But yeah, that's the thing. When you're looking for a marketing agency, if you're looking for a marketing agency and they say, I do nails, plumbing, aviation, iPads, marketing, I'll get you. Don't sign up. We only do that.
Like, hard way, to be honest. Like, so as I don't do lashes anymore, like right now I'm doing permanent makeup. I'm only working with a permanent makeup agency who only work with the permanent makeup artists. But then I was doing also, my online classes, and I'm now only working with the people in Russia who only specialize in like online education, and then like, okay, then I have to like run my products, and I have to find somebody who's only doing a product. And now I know like it is different people because it's different specialty. Yes,
1000%.
you can do anything, but like if you're not specializing, you're probably doing yourself. It's like the same thing what I'm saying in the industry. If you're doing lashes, waxing, brows, brow lamination, hair extension, nails in the same time, you probably don't do any of the services good. Because
can you tell them
good, it's like you
can you let them know that the more services they have does not equal more money that they're going to make? Can you please let them know that?
They can hear it right now. Yeah, that's like the more service you do, that doesn't make anything. Like, it's just like people get confused with what do you do? Like, what are you good at? If I'm going to a nail, I'm only going to a nail person who only concentrating on nails for 15 years of her life, because I know that she's doing a great job, and I will not, like, I against that salons where people doing nails, then they doing lashes, then they doing eyebrows microblading, then they do this, and I'm like, get any of this, it's take time, so the same thing, to figure out how to book only probably lash people, it's take time, right? So tell me about the pixel, because I know you always laughing at me when I'm saying it, but like, I know
the pixel, look, I try
what
to
pixel is, because I'm sure that they did never run ads, they don't even know what it is, and what
the pixel,
Facebook, and why it's so important.
Yeah, so with the pixel, I've had people, my clients, copy my image, copy my words, and then run the ad, and then they're like, this doesn't work. How did it work for you? It's because of my pixel. And I don't even bring it up to people, because like I said, I'm wearing the marketing hat for you. At the end of the day, just know I'm going to get you messages, and I'm going to tell you what to say. But when it comes down to the intricacies of it, so the pixel pretty much just tells Facebook who you're showing your ad to. And the more money you spend on that pixel, the better Facebook knows who to show your ad to. So our pixel has had millions of dollars ran through it, because collectively with all my clients, we're spending at least 200, 300,000 a month on ads. So if my pixel is having 300,000 a month on ads, your pixel had $50 to $100. My pixel knows to show it to people wanting lashes better than yours. Your pixel might show it to people that like skins, or people that are plumbers, or this. Mine is going to specifically show it to lash people, because mine is better trained. But like I said, you won't have to worry about that. I'm going to handle it for you. You just worry about being the best lash artist possible and getting some messages.
But it's important.
Yeah.
That's important, because that's how you get a better leads. And then
1000% cheaper leads. A lot of lash artists get $7 to $13 per lead. We get $1.50 to $2, which means if I spend $20 on an ad,
Because
I'm gonna get you guys. Yeah, so if I spend $20, I'm gonna get you 10 to 15 people to reach out. If you spend $20, you might only get 2 or 3, and they might be low quality leads because they might be into plumbing. So that's why the pixel is so important.
Okay, I just want to like, because I know what a pixel is, and then we do have a pixel in my Facebook, but we didn't spend a million yet, but saying like, I know it's trainable, and it's like, of course, if you just the first time doing the ads, you never done it before, again, your cost of the list may be more expensive, as you saying, because you did spend a lot of money and you're running it from your Facebook, but already trained, you're getting different quality. Because I want to specialize for people who don't know and never run ads. Your ad, the first couple of hours, it's crucial, because whoever gonna click on the ad, that's how the algorithm of the Facebook will
It's
go.
gonna show it to.
Yeah. So if your algorithm of Facebook never been trained before, it will show it to, I don't know, maybe somebody, I don't know, like plumber, you say like, click it for some reason, then it's going to go to these people.
Yes.
And why your ad not working, why your click ad so expensive, so.
And not to mention, when you're first running an ad to a brand new pixel, Facebook will give you a ton of headaches. It will disable your ad. It will reject your ad. It will disable your account. And then now you have to deal with that. But if your pixel is already trained and Facebook knows you've spent money with it before, it's much easier. So yeah, the headaches with Facebook on a brand new pixel is very stressful. That's why people say I've ran ads, it didn't work for me. It's tough. That's why it's like you can spend $200 on your own and try to learn it, or you can spend $400 with someone that's done it before and it's going to work. So a lot of people ask, what's different from you running the ad compared to me? I'm like, look, you can run it, but you can spend $200 and think it's going to work, or spend $400 and know it's going to work. So that's the difference with running ads with a professional that only does it for lash artists compared to yourself learning the intricacies, the targeting.
That's the specialty, right? Because you're doing it from your pixel, but only for lash artists. Your Facebook trained to find that clientele. That's what I think I want to really specialize, like, to people to hear. It doesn't mean they cannot do it from their own ads. It's totally fine. They can try it, and I'm not saying not. I'm just like making like educational decisions here and there right now, just because I'm doing it from my Facebook. Sometimes our clicks per like a client for, not client, just the lead for education can be up to $36 per conversation. Will it close that conversation? It's not always. Just to want people to hear it so they know the numbers. What's going to be your one phrase, what you're going to say? I know we say a lot of phrases right now, but like what you're going to say to the people who's like in the lash industry and trying to take it serious as a business, like one phrase, what you're going to give it to them so it's motivate them?
Don't stop. Right now, I know it's crowded. I know it's busy. I know there's a lot of lash artists doing what you're doing. You got to keep in mind, now there might be 100 people doing what you're doing. You wait 2 years, out of that 150 are going to quit. You wait another 2 years on top of that, now that 50 is only 20. You wait another 2 years, now that 20 is only 2. And now you're 7 years ahead, and you are ahead of everyone because they all quit. So just don't stop. Keep going. I know it's really crowded. You feel nervous. Well, they're better. You're comparing yourself. Keep going. Don't stop. And I promise you'll be far better off in 3, 5, 7 years. I
love it. I'm not going to add anything to it. I just absolutely love it. I think it's so true. It's so true. I mean, we all been here. Like my story, it's the same. Like I cried. I compare myself to Russian lash artists because I study there all the time. I cried again, didn't have clients, and if I'm looking, I will never imagine that I will have a brand and I will speak and I will teach.
Yeah, I cried too. We all cried.
If you cried, guys, as well, that's okay. That's normal. It's emotions. We're human beings. We all experience that, right? So on this good note of the crying, we're gonna finish our first episode of the podcast. I want to say thank you so much for being a guest. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Like, I think it's amazing that you're helping a lot of lash artists who don't know where to start, don't know what to do, and if they're ready, to elevate their business to a next level. I do believe it will take much faster with something like running ads and knowing how to run them and knowing what to say than doing it through Instagram. You always can do it with word by mouth, but I do believe if you want to like go faster, that's a faster way to that as well, and
1000%. Thinking
long term. I think a lot of people will remember that from from this conversation. Thinking long term. Yeah. This is a shifting of mentality, but it's very important. So thank you so much for what you're doing. Thank you for agreeing to be a guest on my first podcast. I'm like, yay! So excited.
No. Yeah, no, I'm excited. Thank you so much. We can talk all day. We could probably do a part 2 for like 5 hours, but we'll do that in a little bit.
I know. So let us know if you want to have a part 2 as well.
Anna, thank you so much. This was so awesome. You are so cool. Thank you again.
Thank you. So thank you so much.